What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today I am joined by my partner in crime for the first time in a while actually, Mr. Nub Raid. How you doing, bro?
I'm very good. Yeah, it's been a while. First time since I saw you in person, in the flesh.
Yep.
So yeah, it's good to be back.
Well guys, do you know what? I'm gonna have to just admit this, okay? There's no way I can go through the rest of this video without letting you know. We literally sat there and recorded this, okay, for like at least what you say 10 minutes or so, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, at least 5 minutes in.
And
best video ever. Best video we ever did.
I realized I was like, wait a second, I'm not recording. Like that's just noob streamer video stuff happening on there. But yeah, I did actually ask you before, but how was your trip to London? Did you enjoy coming around and all that good stuff?
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. It was really good. Obviously seeing London is cool. I've seen London before, but that was always nice to see it again. I saw a bit of Leicester as well for the first time.
Yep.
Leicester is okay. Kind of reminded me a bit of Dublin. But no, it was great. I mean, the best thing was definitely obviously getting to meet you and your crazy dog and getting to meet all the other YouTubers as well. That was really fun. So actually meeting people in person as opposed to over a Discord call, that's really nice. It's a whole different ball game, really. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Apart from your plane being delayed for like how long? Like 10 hours or something?
Oh my god, yeah.
You're getting flashbacks.
I think it was it was a 45-minute flight. I think it was delayed 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then my bus to get there was also delayed. We're losing this fight. Uh-oh.
We got block revived and all sorts, man.
I spent basically an entire day in the airport before spending a day over in England. So
yeah, then I was there in the airport, and then I was looking at the thing where my parking was just ramping up in cost. I was like, Nubs, you better like do some skydiving or something, man. I don't know what's going on.
You've lost to another Mortu, I think, here, dude. What is happening?
All right, guys, sidetrack. So in terms of this video today, what we're going to be doing is, actually, I'm going to start off with a question. You guys let me know in the comment section below. Has there ever been a champion that you've kind of, put them in the vault? You're like, oh, this champion's okay. I'm never going to need them. And then you actually whoop them out of the vault for once in a time. And then you're like, this guy's actually pretty good. And he's, surprised me in terms of what he could do in the game. So what we're going to be doing is breaking down our 5 top ones each in terms of champions that surprised us. And we're not going to include Morty McCab because I don't know what's going on here in this one.
Dude, you totally like... I think the Yumiko thing redirected the block revive or something. Kaimar got one shot by Peril and then got back up. I'm pretty sure. Who the heck knows?
We had a Magma Dragon intro in the other one, and I just had to improvise, but bad choices of Morty McCraps. But
yeah.
Okay, Nubby, do you want to kick us off with the first champion that kind of surprised you in terms of champions?
Absolutely. I'm going with Lenatra or Lonatharil or Lonatharil. I don't know. This guy nobody knows how to say. Nobody knows how to say any champion's name in Raid. Apparently, that's the main thing I took away from Call of the Arbiter. Nothing is what I expected.
Do you know what? It's crazy. In like episode 1, they were like Kayao or something, right? And then later on, they actually said KO. I was like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah, so like in previous in previous things they've done, they've called him Kyle, and then they're like, all right, nobody liked that. We'll call him KO.
Yeah. Like, this guy is shrouded by the mists of time. When they're clear, much will be revealed. But reveal it to us.
Yeah, well, let me tell you. So this guy, who's obviously a fusion, and I didn't do him. I see you didn't do him either.
Yep.
I certainly advised everyone not to do him as well. I kind of thought, look, he's got an AoE A2. That gives you a nice shield. That's decent. He's got an ally attack on his A3. That's decent. Cool. They're decent moves, but it's not really that crazy. And he's got like a pretty meh passive in A1. Thought, nothing too special. However, then Fire Knight Hard came around, and actually at the moment, I don't have this guy, but a lot of the people in my clan are using him for even like speed farming Fire Knight Hard 10, because, well, he helps with wave clear with the AoE, he helps you stay alive and survive the slam from the Fire Knight Hard, which you have to take that slam for stage 10 at the moment. He lets you survive it with the shield, and then he brings in the ally attack that he joins in on, one of the best ally attacks in the game for this, for taking down the Fire Knight shield after that. So yeah, this guy's actually turned out to be really good for that stuff. So that's a bummer I don't have him, and I don't have Cardial, so I've got Farrakhan, but he's not as good as Lenatra. I'm surprised, really surprised by Lenatra. Actually, 2 kind of decent abilities, but nothing crazy, but they are the perfect abilities. Fire Knight Hard, the perfect 2, so he works really well.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Like back then, I think my kind of statement was like I already had a long beard, and I was like, "Do I need a long beard with a shield?" But it turns out we kind of do,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Yeah, right.
But it's actually pretty rare to get a champion that actually teams up with the allies for everybody to attack an enemy. There's not a ton. There's like some of like free champions, or they just miss out on the ally attack. But Lenatra
Yeah.
comes in and is like he just joins in as well. Yeah, he's a good one.
There you go.
All right, so my first one, I'm actually interested to see if we're going to clash in these ones. But one that I was kind of sleeping on for the longest time ever. I'm sorry, Nubs, all right? I'm going to say this in advance.
Oh.
Fedex.
Now,
now,
oh, wow.
This is a champion, right, that I have been bullied in live streams, in videos, and I just kind of forget that this dude exists. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just don't like him or whatever. But there's so many times where I'm like, kind of sleeping on his damage potential and the ways that he can place block revives, right? With, which one is it? A1.
A1, yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually very strong for like live arena. And when I got melted multiple times by a Fedex, I knew that I'd been messing up. So I deep dived in, I ranked him up, I built him up, and I was like, man, I've been missing out for like years. Like, what's going on? But I was scared to say this one because he's actually your logo, right, on your YouTube channel. So
yeah, he is actually all right.
Well, you're basically Fedex. Look, guys, look.
Yeah,
we'll put him up here. Look.
I just need a bit more of a curl over here.
What's the difference?
The difference? Identical.
Yeah. So, all right. So, is anything that you obviously never underestimated Fedex? Why do you actually like this dude? Just because he looks like you, or what?
Well, no, it's because his A1 actually absolutely smacks. He's got a really hard hitting A1. It trucks, and again, that block revive is really useful. So. Yeah. I admit I kind of underrate him as well. Like I've never used him that much, but the A1 does some sort of absurd level of damage. It's one of the hardest hitting in the game. It's just crazy.
Even this ability here, like having a chance to place a block buffs on an AoE, it's pretty strong as well. And then even what's this? A single target decreased defense and a decreased speed. Like there's a lot of utility coming out of this champion. I just thought that. I don't know, I put in that Juliana realm. Do you know, it's like Juliana, Romero, Fedex, like the old school ones, kind of in a sense. But
yeah, no, he's much better than they were.
Yeah,
they've been buffed. They're okay. They've been buffed, but he's better still.
Oh, I love Juliana. Pokeball. Don't get me wrong. I've always liked Juliana. But he's got Pokeballs there. I don't know.
Yeah, a little Pokeball. Yeah.
All right. What we got next?
All right, next up, I'm going to go with Arix from the Knights Revenant.
Okay.
Sat in my vault for a very, very long time. And then I finally got around to it. I knew she was going to be good. I knew she was going to be good because I do like the HP-based nukers, and I kind of looked into that a bit with Mother Cybele as like being a HP damage nuker for arena. People wouldn't expect, and like she was not bad. I knew that Arix would be good, but she ended up being much, much better than I thought. As a HP-based nuker, I think you get her for free.
Yeah,
and she's one of the best ones in the game, right? Her A2 hits really hard. Her A1 is also an AoE, and that's fantastic. It just brings constant damage. Then she's protecting your team with ally protection and a counterattack on herself on her A3. Her passive also really helps her to stay alive and to take extra turns. So she's very tanky, helps your team be tankier, and she pumps out really good damage. She's not like, it's not equal to like a top tier attack based nuker or something. Like they do more, but they're super squishy, whereas she's really tanky. So I've actually used her a lot in live arena, fought against her a bunch too. And yeah, this was a champion. I think not only me, but most people probably slept on this champ.
Yeah,
got her for free, and we're like, yeah, stick her in the vault. But
I think, like
good.
for me, like when I first playtested her ages ago, like before she actually was obtainable from the daily logins, like someone summoned her and just let me do a guide on it. And when I first played with her, I was like, my issue was, is she good enough to sanction getting us so late in the game? Like, our players' accounts already progressed enough not to need like these kind of abilities. So you're saying that you actually really value it as an endgame player, right? And you feel like it's bang on pretty much.
So the thing that surprised me was like, I imagine you might have built her with crowd control or something, or
I was more with crowd control / damage,
yeah, which is what you would expect looking at her kit, but no, it's when you actually build her for damage, that's where she really shines. And in arena, people don't build resistance on nukers, so she will still stun them. She will still strip their buffs. It's as a damage dealer that she's particularly good.
I think dude, like I must have faced, do you when you just like powerhousing through like the classic arena, right? And then someone had a solo Arix, and I think it was in Stone Skin, right? This dude I couldn't strip the Stone Skin, he put the counterattack on, and he was just next, like, I was like, I just got soloed by an Arix. I had to turn my game off. I was like, nah, I've had enough. I'm tired here, man. Yeah. All right. Next one here is going to be I've got a few extra ones. I know we said 10, but I'm just trying to, you know. I'm gonna go with. Actually, do you know what? If you guys go over to Nub Raid's channel, we actually spoke about this briefly, and I said that we mentioned it here as well. It's gonna be Withercrown.
Yeah.
Now, Withercrown is a champion that, like, I've had her for a long time. I think she came out in a 10x event, and then she was a guaranteed afterwards or something. But I actually got it from the 10x, and she sat in my vault for the longest time ever. And then as of lately, right, I had a build for like Tag Team Arena. It's just like, you don't really get to see the full value of what she's bringing. But then when I was actually deep diving into the kit, there's not really anyone that does the synergy that she does in terms of removes all debuffs from all allies and heals them by 30%, which is great in itself. And I'm going to be using this as my Enfeeble tank for the Shogun's Grove, which I've done videos on. Feel no pain, increased defense, and increasing of duration of continuous heals on all allies, and instantly activates them as well. So a nice form of AoE heals there to coincide with the passive. And then also a leech on the A1 whilst also placing a continuous heal on random allies. And I just feel like that synergy of, like, because this is an AoE A1, you could use this in the Hydra, get your leech out. If you want to have cleanses for the Hydra, could use it. If you want to use it in Shogun's Grove or the Doom Tower in the Classic Arena to counter torments like a Skytouch Shaman. Like, she's just got so much versatility for her kit to take everywhere in the game. And I just think that I've just, like, underestimated her. I looked at her as like a lower caliber cleanser in a sense. Like, if you've got this champion, you don't need this one. But I actually feel like she kind of sits on par with him, in a sense. Thoughts?
Yeah, fair.
Thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's cool. If you wanna, she's a good one as well for the solo arena defense. It's the bane of low gold 5, isn't it? You put her in, and they just can't kill her.
I don't
so
think I'm
tanky.
aware of that, but I could see that being a pain. Like, you go in there, like, yeah, I'm gonna kill this Wither, and then
Yeah, and especially because she's force affinity, like, you know.
Oh, don't give people ideas. You're just gonna see gold 3, gold 4, UDK with the crown. Just them two.
Oh, yeah. There's no chance. There's no chance.
Yeah. Do you have with the crown in your account? Did you go for her?
No, I didn't go for her at the time. No, it was too early on in the game, I think, for me. That was just before I was at the point where I was sort of able to start saving up enough shards and stuff to actually do the guaranteed. So I missed her. Yeah, she's a bummer, and she's been like a 10x every week since then. Yeah. It feels like she shows up constantly. It's cool. I've never got her.
I'm playing Diablo, right, for the first ever time, and there's like the main character is called Lilith, right? You're probably aware. I wasn't aware until like the past few weeks. Don't bash me in the comments, guys. But then she really reminded me of Lilith as well, in a sense. I wasn't sure if like Raid kind of got some influence from that.
The main character in most Diablos is, believe it or not, Diablo. Or the main villain, I should say. Diablo. He's the main villain in Diablo.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, I thought Lilith was the main. Or maybe just in this game it is then.
I think just in 4. I haven't played it, so it's
I bought one for Nintendo Switch, right? Which is kind of like just for traveling. So
yeah.
Me and actually the HH Gaming guys are going out to Vegas in October for TwitchCon. So maybe I can like try the Diablo 3 on the Switch and maybe face the actual guy.
Oh yeah. Diablo 3 was good fun. It was good fun. Yeah. Switch is great. I've been playing all of the Xenoblade Chronicles. If anyone
so have you played those. So I played Breath of the Wild, right? That was like, I really loved that game. So the second one came out, right?
Yeah.
Is that better than Breath of the Wild?
I think I've heard it's better. Yeah, I actually have not played. I've not played either one yet. No.
Oh, you don't play Breath of the Wild?
I've not played it yet. No, it's been on my list. It's on the list.
What I'll do is give me your address. I'll send you my one, so you have to actually buy it, and then you can send it back.
All right.
There we go. We're making deals mid-video.
Yeah.
All right.
People watching are like, just say the next champion. Shut up about your switches.
There's gonna be one dude that's like, yo, send me that Zelda, man.
Yeah.
All right. Let us know. Who's your next champion then?
Oh, next one. This one will surprise you.
Okay.
Is Helikath.
Oh, so you actually underrated Helikath when he first came out. Okay.
Yeah. Well, when he first came out, I knew he's obviously really good for Demon Lord. Like, that's obvious. But I really kind of underrated him for Arena. I called him out, honestly, as well. I was being overrated for Arena. And I don't actually think that was strictly wrong. I think he is a bit overrated. But I was also too harsh on him. He is like he's not in the top echelon, but he's like very viable and a real pain as well for people to deal with in Arena at top levels too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just very, very good. And I tried him out as a support. I was impressed. Tried him out as damage. Doesn't hit that hard, but like it can add up with the counterattacks that he gets.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just a really annoying champion to deal with because he puts out really big shields. He puts out that block damage all the time. It's just he's a nightmare in live arena. You know, you kind of half the time he can force people to need to ban him, and you stack multiple bannable champions together, and it's really, really painful for people to deal with. So yeah, a Helicath, he's better than I thought he was going to be for live arena. He's actually pretty good.
It's a weird one. Like, I can't blame you for that in a sense, because like back then there wasn't no live arena when he came out, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of something that's come to fruition later on in the game.
Yeah. And polymorph as well made it even more viable, because then suddenly you couldn't really strip the block damage, you know?
I guess for Classic Arena, it's kind of easy to counter because you know what you're coming up against. But when you're in Live Arena and someone throws him in as a final pick and they pair it with a Valkyrie, it's a shambles. It's like, I think that has to be like the most scariest combo for me. Like, I'd rather take a Georgid over that combo. It's like, you don't know what to do. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Sorry. I wouldn't. Give me a Valkyrie, Helicath. All right, so this one, I have to give a big shout out to Saf. He's probably going to be very proud of this moment. I can't even put this in a video. It's going to be a Whisper.
Oh, okay.
Up until, I would say, even 2 weeks ago, I didn't like her.
Wow.
I recently built her for like a CBC, never put gear on her. But I feel like, do you know with the cap of max HP and bosses, right? I'm starting to see her like do crazy damage against Shogun, the Dark Fae, because of the ways that she's got those extra turn mechanics, right? Which one was it? Attacks one enemy, increase attack, increase crit rate, ignore defenses worth they're under weaken. So if you've got that on, it's a lot of defense to be ignoring. It's like all of the attacks combined, and if you've got the optimal setup, I have seen some crazy numbers that shouldn't be coming out of an epic champion.
Yeah.
So like, she's really surprised me as like a boss killer, I would say. Like, not really anywhere else, but in terms of boss encounters, single target, she blew me away when I first tried her out properly.
Yep. Agreed for me, actually. She didn't quite make my list here, but she was probably the next one I would have added on. 100% agree. She was like my favorite champion for a little while there, actually. Just really, really crazy damage for Hydra I used her in.
Oh, you said Hydra? Okay.
Yeah, she was my favorite, but then I got the guaranteed Turvold.
Oh, she got
and Turvold is like Whisper on steroids, so...
sorry, man. Sorry, it wasn't me that said it.
If you like Whisper, dude, you gotta try Turvold sometimes. He's even better. So, but yeah, she's brilliant. And like for an epic, she's so good.
Yeah, no, really underrated. I actually, it's someone that I would say to anybody that's got a Whisper, if you've been sleeping on her, give her a shot, because I regret it. Like, she came out for free through the Prime rewards, I believe, like ages ago now, and then she actually had a different picture. Like this.
Yeah, they changed her portrait weirdly.
She never used to look like this. Maybe it was some sort of like, I don't know, some conflict of another game, and they're like saying you copied our Whisper.
Maybe.
You never know. All right, here we go next.
Okay, next one is, and I think this should be an interesting one. I'm gonna go Razzle Varg, actually.
Okay.
So certainly not a champion I thought was bad. I definitely knew he was good and called him out as good, and I did the fusion and everything, and I think I recommended people to do it as well. But he's turned out to be, I think, better than expected as well. Again, he's a Fire Knight hard champion. He really thrives there, but just because he builds up so much gosh darn speed with his passive, he goes so quick, and then he's coming in with that triple hit A1. That's brilliant with the ally attack, counter attack strategies that are part of it now. The two AoEs, I think they're both on 3 turns. Am I right about that? I haven't built it. I mean,
3 turn and 3 turn, yeah.
Like, I'm using them at the moment for this Fire Knight Savage event, you know? Like, those two really short cooldown AoEs help rip through the waves very quickly, increase speed. That helps you, again, keep on top of the boss and keep that turn meter down with Noose now. So he's fantastic. Razzle Varg, he's turned out to be really good. And yeah, it might be difficult to make some comps without him, honestly. Like, he's that top tier for a fusion as well. So yeah, he's really impressed me much more than I kind of expected when he first came out. Where it's like, oh, it's quite a novelty. That's cool. He's actually turned out to be a very relevant novelty now for Fire Knight. So
yeah, I think, do you know, for me, he's a champion, right? That I knew the value straight away. Like, when I first seen him, I didn't underestimate him, I'd say. But I've actually not built him since I got him. And I don't know if it's just because we've got so many damn fusions that you just can't keep up. It's like, by the time you get the fusion, you're like trying to think about which gear to put on. It's like, pop up CC chat, new fusion. I'm like, can I build this one, please? let me have some fun with this dude. It's like, I don't have enough resources to invest in him because I'm like having to invest it elsewhere, I guess. But we'll give him a shot. We'll give him a shot very soon, I guess.
Yeah, I recommend it. He's also really fun too, because he's just a super fast rabbit energizer bunny, literally.
Yeah,
It's mad.
he reminds me of a support Genzin in a very weird way. Like all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dust,
yeah.
because he's got like the speed manipulation. He's got a triple A1 turn meter fields. Is very similar to Genzin, but he just does the leech instead of the drop defense.
Yeah,
It's a weird kind of synergy, but I feel like that together they might be a good pairing. You know.
could be,
Oh,
could be. It's your next video.
one for the future. Razzle Varg and Genzin new meta. All right. So next up is going to be. I cannot do this video without mentioning this. Everyone's probably seen it coming. Scrank. I underestimated him so much that I actually did a video on him, right? And I thought his only usage was gonna be spiders. I thought a spider burner, that's it. Get on your bike, disappear. We don't need you anymore. But he's a lot more than that, and we kind of showed that with the Hydra clash, right? Where we brought him into the team as an actual choice, not just for no reason. And he really put in the numbers, and we exceeded like crazy numbers of Scrank. It's all down to like the damage multipliers all around the board. We've got weakens, self-healing mechanics, burns, turn meter fills, and this pyromania that can increase his damage stats over the course of a battle up to 25%. And I just think like he's one of the best epic champions in the game, and I really believe that. Like I don't really say that statement too much, but I would put him up there, and at least I'd say maybe top 7 to 10, somewhere around there. It's pretty high for me, yeah.
Yeah, no, he is really good, right? And I think, yeah, especially if you don't have Ninja, like this is the closest you get to Ninja for some of those bosses in a lot of ways. Like Artak similar too, but yeah, no, Scrank's great. He's very strong.
Have you put your Scrank on your account?
I do, yeah. I've got him built. I think I haven't done a video on him yet. I meant to do one on him. It'd be cool to see you
use him in Hydra in like a kind of budget team. Yeah, maybe Epic Zone. It'd be cool.
I think I actually did a collab with Hell Hades, and in Hell Hades' video, I was like, I'm going to do a video on Scrank tomorrow. Oh. And I never did. So that was months ago. So yeah, he's been on the list for a long time.
There we go. Scrank video coming soon.
Coming soon, TM.
All right. Did you have any more?
Yeah, I have one more on my list.
Okay.
It is, drumroll,
I'm actually excited.
Glacial Soul Guide.
Oh.
I bet no one saw that coming.
I didn't, but you know what? Wait, I'll let you talk about her first because you like her.
Yeah, you have her.
I do have her, and I'm a big fan actually. Why'd you like her?
Okay, well, I don't have her, but I have fought against her actually several times now in live arena. Because I have a Yumiko, and I like first pick Yumiko every time. So a few people have pulled out the Glacial to counter that. Her skills cannot be put on cooldown, and when an enemy tries to put this champ skills or an ally skills on cooldown, freezes the enemy and has a 50% chance of denying the cooldown increase effect. Now, unfortunately, the people I've been fighting have somehow hacked the game, and this prevents the Yumiko cooldowns thing happening 100% of the time when I'm fighting it. Like, sometimes in the same battle, you're like, okay, we're back to it again. Round 2, and she prevents it again. You're like, oh, come on, what the heck is this? So she's just a really interesting option. It's 50%. It's not reliable, but the fact that she can come in and basically completely neuter, well, not completely, but mostly neuter. Yeah, what those champs are trying to do with the lockout, I think that's actually really cool. And the fact that I've seen people use it and it's worked actually pretty well for them in live arena, I'm like, wow, damn, this is a champion that you would have dismissed as saying, the 50-50, that's rubbish. But look, if you've got nothing to counter that lockout champion, bringing her in, suddenly you do have a way to counter it in live arena, and that could be really valuable if you can't. Like, it opens up strategies. You can be like, I was expecting them to ban my Yumiko because that's what nearly always happens. Suddenly they last pick Glacial and they ban one of the damage dealers. I'm like, well, my whole strategy fell apart because I'm always assuming the lockout is going to be banned. It's just cool. I think she's pretty cool for that.
No, I actually didn't think of her for live arena, to be fair. Like, I thought, because I remember when she first came out, everyone was kind of very hyped that she's going to be the Warlord counter in a sense, and there's a whole stigma around it. But because it's not reliable, there's no book chances to make it 75%. It's that RNG for Classic Arena where you can't bank on it in a sense, it's too low. But I think in a live arena scenario where you're decision making and, there's ways that you could potentially counter it and get a win, I think it's actually really cool that we've got some form of counter to these meta champions, right? With the freeze as well. But even off that, like, we got block debuffs, we got chances of placing freezes as well, and turn meter fills. There's actually a lot to her kit that's pretty decent. I wouldn't say like top tier, but definitely underrated, I think.
Yeah, if I got her, I'd totally build her up and try her out. Like, I want to try her myself.
Yeah,
and she looks freaking cool too. I feel like this is the champ they could do a guaranteed on, because she looks awesome, and the anti-lockout thing is still unique. So makes sense to
What
me.
do you
They
think
would
she's
do it.
worth if she was to do it? If she was a guaranteed, what do you think she's worth?
Oh man, I'm not sure. I think they could do it for like the 180 ancients. That seems like they seem to be upping the prices, so I'm not going
Like
to
that
try talking down.
Osgo Crimson Horn
Al
level.
scores 180. I could see them doing that, or like 150 ancients, maybe 15 sacreds. I think if it's 20 sacreds, I think that's too high. People wouldn't do it.
That's way too high for Glacier, yeah.
Yeah, for Glacier, I think they could do it like the 12 or 15 sacreds. They could do the one. I would say the 150 ancients, but I could see them upping the price because they seem to be pretty hardcore and upping everything at the moment. So
we'll come back to Raid in like 5 years. It's gonna be like 1,000 sacred shards for a Genzin. I'll still do it.
How much? So you have her. What? How much do you think she would be worth? And have you found her good?
Do you know what it is? That I pulled her a while ago, and I've always been like a secret fan of her. She doesn't kind of replace anybody that I'm using, but I did see the value on my free to play. She was my second ever legendary champion with that Pythion that I pulled.
Oh, nice.
But Glacier Soul Guide is like when I'm going through like Doom Tower progression and Arena, she's just a menace. Like she's just a very strong support champion. I'd say for progression, but then with some niche uses in the end game. So yeah, she's decent. She's decent. All right. So next up for me is going to be. Man, I got 2 left. I might have to force you to make someone else.
Oh, okay. I'll flick through my index while you're, you're talking.
Why are we choosing this next champion? So this one's gonna be the if we can find this faction. Do I even raid, bro? Let's see that one time. Corvus the Corruptor. Now, Corvus was somebody that I knew was a good poisoner. I only pulled him recently, but I never realized for the longest time ever that this is a 4 poisons, right? Because it's each has a 100% chance of placing 2, so then it's gonna be 5. I mean 4, sorry, because it's attacks 2 times. And when you pair that with a poison sensitivity in the same skill, that is a lot of poisons. And I chunked through the Dragon 10 in no man. Like, the time is just so quick because of this ability. Like, you put this up, you extend it. He also has like a Godseeker or Near effect where he increases the durations and all that good stuff. And then also a decreased attack on A1 and a damage reduction in the passive by 25% up to that. It's a lot of damage to reduce just by simply having poisons up. And then I made a kind of a budget-ish team with Corvus, Withercrown, and Newts in the clan boss. And we did a wonky Ultra Nightmare with like no unkillable and stuff. And this dude was really putting in the numbers there. So really underrated, I'd say.
Yeah, he's cool. He could definitely do some solo like hard mode dragon stuff as well, or like maybe duo. I'm not 100% sure, just because he puts out so much damage with the poisons. Very strong for that.
Yeah, but I think this part was the bit that I underrated the most, was damage reduction.
Yeah.
It's very similar to having a heal reduction from Venomage or a Geomancer's Burn. It's like, once you're stacking a certain thing and being able to reduce so much damage, in something like the Dragon, that's where the consistency comes from. Because you get the poison up, the boss is now hitting 25% less, and then you're good to go pretty much, so. Alright, did you find the champion?
Yeah, I did. Alright, we're going to the Orcs. The epic category.
Oh, I know who he's choosing.
Do you? I don't think you do. No, it's not Angar. So much worse than I expected. He was one. I tried him out. I was like, he's terrible. Yeah. And he was worse than I thought. I was like, oh my God, his passive does not work in the way you think it does. It's so bad. Oh my God, yeah, because he has to be hit. But anyway, Tagore. You don't have, actually. Okay. Tagore. In fact, I don't have him on the live server either, but I used him for the clan boss draft. Now, this guy I think is actually much better than I thought. So he comes in, his A2, look at his A2, is actually great move. AoE attack, great. Increased speed for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, and a 15% heal based off his max HP. It's a really good move. It does a lot of healing, and the increased speed, the AoE attack is brilliant. Then he has a revive as well that gives a big shield. You can even use that just without reviving, just to throw out the shield.
So he's got that Ursula the Mourner effect in a way.
He does, yeah, okay. Yeah, he does. So...
Are you a fan of skills like that? Because I know there's a lot of discrepancy in the community of like, some people really hate it, and then some people actually like the fact that you can use a valuable skill without needing to revive. What do you think about that?
It's often a negative. It depends, but like you could use this guy in like Hydra, where people typically you shouldn't really die in your Hydra team, otherwise it starts falling apart often. And they're just being able to use it. Same with Ursula is quite helpful. It'd be great. Imagine there's a toggle. There probably will be eventually where you could actually tell them in the AI settings, like, use this revive whenever, or save it for when someone dies. So that would make a lot of champions much better. Whereas then you've got someone like Duchess who only uses her revive if people actually die, which makes her stronger even than she would be otherwise in a sense. But but no, I don't know. So I think usually it's a negative, but be cool to have the toggle. Yeah, I just think he's actually really solid. Like, it's a solid AoE revive. It's a really nice A2. His A1's fine as well, but it's increased defense, which is okay. Yeah, it's just a great, solid support, you know? Like, by the time he came out in the game, obviously I was personally much past the point of needing him myself. But I think you get this guy early on, and he's actually one of the best revivers and healers in the game. Just period. Epics. Top tier, I think.
No, he is very underrated, I'd agree. I think he could actually help out a ton of players just for like general progression and also the Hydra stuff. Like, this passive, it pairs very well with this revive ability because he does 30% HP with a shield, so a form of protection on top of that anyway. And then he also reduces damage by 10% from incoming attacks from under 50%. So there's like a lot of
which they are, when he revives.
So I like that synergy because at first when I read it, I was like 30%, it's a little bit low. You know, some champions are like 50%, but then the passive kind of comes in and makes up for it. So it's good.
Yeah, he's way better than I thought. I was like, yeah, he's pretty good. But I played with him. I was like, actually, pretty great.
All right, so I've got two more. I'm going to do one main one and then one just an honorable mention.
Your ones keep it increase it. Yeah, two more one ago.
I keep looking at my list. All right, so the one that I actually initially had was going to be, where is she? Morag Bronzelock.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually like, I thought she was trash, man. Like, she's a part of a fusion or something, right?
Yeah, she was, yeah.
And it's like, do you know when you kind of say, oh, go for this epic champion if you can't go for the fusion? I didn't even find myself thinking I wanted her. I thought she looked really cool. I love the aesthetics, but like a badass dwarf. But I thought like, I'd team her up with two random allies. Like, Varg in the fact does this much better. He's got a burn and a poison. But one thing I really underrated was the value of having a strengthen on an AoE for an epic champion on a 3-turn cooldown. And I believe like, I'm not sure if it's changed, but I believe this is the only epic that has it on a 3-turn, right? As the big version, because it's the 25%, right?
That was something that, I did not realize either until Hades busted it out. I was like, oh my god, actually, wow, okay, for an epic, that's huge. I didn't
massive,
think about that.
Because like, if like the way that Hades used it anyway, that's a great example actually. He actually won the clan boss draft by simply implementing a strengthening into the team, and on a 3-turn cooldown, it's so easy to tune, right? And when you pair it with an ally attack as well, and this passive that can actually counterattack herself when targets are under strengthen, like when she's hit under strengthen, it's actually a really nice synergy, man. I like her. Yeah,
she's great. Yeah. I thought she was great, like budget defense nuker for arena, because she's great for that.
How was she in arena? Did you like her?
I like her a lot in arena. She's brilliant. And I kind of knew that, but I totally slept her. I wasn't like, it did not click with me, that strengthen thing at all until Hades did it. I was like, oh yeah, she is a great clan boss champion, and that is super unique, that ability. That was like total sleeper for me. So that was one of the most fun things about watching that draft. I was like, wow, that secret weapon is super legit that he came up with.
She could be one for the secret weapon series, and I've just spoiled it, but there we go.
Subscribe to see.
So basically the last one was actually someone else. Now that I'm thinking about it, someone that Hades had in his team as well. It was actually Claude Beastfeeder. Like Claude is
breastfeeder,
the breastfeeder. I still want to know what's in here. Is it Voldemort? We have no clue. But Claude Beastfeeder actually comes in. I would say that I didn't underestimate his kit. I thought it was always pretty good, but I let everybody else's opinions kind of make me backlog him a bit. But basically, increased speed, increased accuracy on a 3-turn cooldown is phenomenal. We're always looking for 3-turn cooldowns. And being able to amplify accuracy by 50% with the increased speed can have so much value in so much areas in the game, right? We've got a shield as well, which for some protection. Paired that with the strength of maybe a Morag. It's a nice synergy. And then also, decreased crit rate is so underrated in this game. It's unreal. Like, we're seeing that with like Reho Bone Spear. Like, people are trying to find these decreased crit rate options, but we actually find out that a lot of them are passive based, like Dark Chaos, where you can actually not use your passive in the Shogun, right? Because you get block passive skills. So
that's right,
these decreased crit rate champions, although his is pretty low chance, is still valuable for something like the Demon Lord Clan Boss, just for consistency for damage over time. Also, this passive, heals the ally with the lowest HP by 10% at the start of each turn on a 0-turn cooldown, is actually pretty nice for keeping you on top, right? So
I know he doesn't look it, but budget Lady Kimmy as well. That's how I use him.
Okay,
budget
now I
lady
see
came in.
that. I see that a little bit.
Yeah. But I used him all the time. I had never thought about him in the clan boss setting, but you know, that's me as well. I never think about clan boss
It's
settings.
funny because like
I
you
always
think a
miss
champion
it.
is Hydra, right? Hydra.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, are they good for clan boss?
Yeah.
And all that good stuff.
One bad thing about Claude, like, so his whole gig is he feeds beasts, right? But he's missing a hand. He got bitten off feeding beasts. He's not very good at his job, is he?
Oh,
It's not good. He
No.
got his hand eaten.
He might have chopped it off himself. Who knows? Probably ate himself.
Yeah, just for fun.
Well, technically, like he did eat himself, and he's a beast. Maybe.
Maybe.
So all right, Nubs. We're about to finish this video, but I wanted to ask you a question for my viewers as well, right?
Okay.
So we have got this Emic Trunk Art Fusion coming up next week. What's your actual like real impressions on it? Like, he's a Void Affinity HP based champion. We very rarely get Void champions in the game. Do you think he's on a caliber for a Void, or do you think that we should just ignore that and you just like the kit in terms of just what it brings?
I love that you asked, like, what's your real impressions? Like, I lied in my video. That was
I guess sometimes, you know what it is? Like, sometimes we get these kits, we read it through, and then we kind of see like everyone else's opinions, and we're like, well, maybe I didn't, you know.
Yeah. No, I think he's super good. I definitely think he's Void Legendary, 100%. Like,
Okay.
I think unkillable for 2 turns on a 4 turn, that's phenomenal. And he brings the taunt and the shield. I think his A2 is phenomenal as well. So, and then the passive, man, that passive. Glacial counters that, right? Oh, Glacial totally counters that 50% of the time. Yeah, baby. Let's go. Here we go. But no, I think this dude is sick. Like, this is, I mean, you're going to go into Classic Arena now, guys, you know, that haven't been maybe you're playing for about a year, and like every Classic Arena fight, Ultimate Death Knight and Emic Trunk Art together, and you're going to be like, son of a gun.
And then Helicap as well. Helicap, I'm telling
you. And Helicap, yeah. And Mighty Uko. It's just like, hey, have fun, guys. Have fun. Man.
I don't know. I feel like he's going to be very good for Clan Boss. He could have some uses for Taunt for Shogun, which I don't really bank on, in a sense.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the Shogun thing, because like we're both using like tanks with just high crit damage that could just tank.
That's basically a taunt, like
which
damage is the taunt, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's up 100% at the time, so I don't see the value for him in Shogun. Could be wrong. I'm not seeing it though. Yeah, I do see the value for Clan Boss. I see the value for Arena.
That's the two places, yeah.
Yeah, like and then for progression and dungeons, all the Doom Tower bosses, you know, like all the Doom Tower waves. This guy's going to be insane for people, I think. So yeah, I think he's extremely good. Not as good as Newt, but I think he's really good.
Yeah, I think like it's a hard one because we just came off one of the best fusions we've ever had in the game, arguably the best. And then they throw like a back-to-back of a Void Legendary that's actually really, really good for support. And just like, it's a really hard one. Are we going to be able to get it done? The wallet might have to come out. You never know.
Do you think they're going to pull the old Great Hoof Loriaka trick and do 2 summon rushes instead of the Champ Chase?
Don't know, man. I don't know. They might even throw 3 summon rushes.
They could be like, you got to do 2 summon rush and the Champ Chase. You got to do 3 summoning events, guys. That's the new fusion format.
Do you know these hybrid fusions, right? Are you like, do you like them? I know a lot of people in my comments are saying they don't like them.
No, not really. No, they're kind of.
I remember them being really hard, right? But we've only had Lunafaru, I believe Hoskarul, and Underpriest Brogni.
Oh, was Hoskarul one? I forgot that.
I believe he was.
Was he just a fragment though? Because he's an epic.
I'm pretty sure he had
Brogni
a
was, yeah.
Brogni was.
You're right. Brogni was, and that was really difficult at the time, really hard. And then there's Lenatra, who, as I mentioned earlier, we've skipped, right? So this is the second time ever we're actually doing it for a legendary, anyway.
It's a yin and yang, because like for me, I love fragment fusions, right? Because it's been so long since I've done a hybrid fusion, I'm not sure which one I actually prefer, because like fragments, you don't have to do the 16 rare thing, like farm up the rares into the 4 stars and get the ascensions and do it 16 times and have I missed out on a rare. I feel like it's a lot more structured in a sense where you know you've got enough fragments, that's it. You don't have to have like 30 champions in your bloody roster taking up space. So we have to wait and see, man. We have to wait and see, I guess. But
we do.
Nubs, appreciate you coming on to hang out and all that good stuff.
Pleasure as always.
Yep, and guys, we did do a collaboration, like we mentioned throughout this video, over on Nub's channel, breaking down champions that was guaranteed, and if they kind of popped up again like in a Kemptim, would we be going for them? So it was actually a pretty fun video. If you guys want to go check that out, it will be in the description below, as well as Nub's channel. Make sure you guys drop a cheeky sub.
Just a quick 10-minute jaunt over to my channel. That's all, guys.
Listen, if you've got like a Tesco next to you, an Asda, whatever supermarket it is, get yourself a popcorn, right? No Netflix tonight. Put it on the TV, have a bit of bands. Yeah, have an amazing rest of your day, guys. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in a video soon. Peace.